How can you raise the quality of your life to the highest level possible without limiting your happiness or achievement? I believe that every day is a great day to wake up with a smile on your face and a purpose in your heart. That every day is a great day to be your best. Welcome to the Yin Yang of Life. I'm your host, Mugan Hafiz, and on this podcast, we figure out exactly what it takes to raise the quality of your life to the highest level possible without sabotaging your happiness and accomplishment. Welcome to the show. Make sure to learn heaps, take notes, and follow me on Instagram at the rate This Is Armuhan to join our community. Also, make sure to DM me so we can say hi. Let's begin with today's episode. So, welcome to another episode of the Yin Yang of Life. This is a superhero session, and today on my right side, I have a superhero with me. And if you're new to the superhero sessions, I really want to take some time and tell you why I call these superhero sessions. I love superheroes, by the way. I'm also wearing a Deadpool hoodie, and and I'm also a big fan of Iron Man. But here's the thing. I believe that these people, these Iron Man, these Deadpool, although they're super cool, they're not really superheroes. Because I remember, not very long ago, just a few years ago, when I was obviously three, a few years ago, I was at a very depressed, even suicidal place at my life. And the people who saved me, the superheroes who saved me, they were not wearing a cape. There were people like Saloni. There were people like all these. I have Saloni with me here, and she's just super incredible at what she does. So just I really appreciate the work that these guys do. These guys and girls, all of them do. I really love them because they have saved me, and I know they save a lot of other people. So thank you so much, Saloni, for being on the show, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Armugan. I'm happy to be here with you.
Saloni is a self mastery coach. She is not only a self mastery coach, she's a life coach, a self mastery coach, a mindfulness coach, and a family coach. She's like all in one, and I love that about her. And even more than that, she is just a loving presence. And I'm gonna share something here today, is that the way Saloni replied, and I just there's something about you, Saloni. I really want to tell you this. There's something about you that is just so beautiful and that is just so loving. I don't know what it is, but there is something about you that is just, that's
Thank
why I
you.
was just so excited. Thank you so much, Saloni. And Saloni, she loves to what she does with her clients is, let me just give you a bit of a preview. What she does with her clients is that she takes a deep dive into connecting with themselves, rediscovering themselves, and also sometimes reinventing themselves. And she does that by connecting with their true nature, with our true nature, with our inner peace and the source. It's just, I love all of that. So welcome to the show, Saloni. Again, I really love everything that you do. I'm a fan of it. So the first
Thanks.
question I have for you is, I know I'm speaking a lot. Okay, give me some room. The first question I have for you is, how do we come back home? And what I mean by home is that place within us, that deeper place within us that is just free of all the worries. I know all of us have experienced this, that is just free of all the worries, all the stress, all the daily grind, and all the daily grind and hustle. How do we come back home to that place which is just so peaceful and joyful? How do we always come back there?
What a great question to start with, I must say, Armugan. That's amazing. So, this has been my quest, I would say, for long, many, many years. Till recently, just a couple of years back, I realized that I never left home. That was a realization that I'm always home. If maybe a lot of times I might go with my thought process, I might just get carried away by some of the beliefs I'm believing, some of the self doubts or self judgments, or it can be even judgments for others. It can be anything I might be believing which is leading to some kind of suffering, which is taking me out or away from home. But the moment it just happens that in a moment of realization you realize, oh my god, what the hell am I doing? And in that moment, if you are just a little present and you allow yourself to just breathe in, you are already home. So the answer to your question is we are already home. And yes, sometimes we can go really deep into our sufferings that happen. We are all humans. So sometimes we just start believing thoughts which are painful. When I coach people, I see sometimes they are in their victim mindset and they feel like something bad is happening or life is doing something bad to them. So sometimes it might take a long time to come to self awareness, to self realization that these are my own thoughts and how I'm responding to the situations. But no matter where you are in your journey, you're always already home.
I love that so much. That was just, I was not expecting that you're always home, and it just, sometimes it just takes a thought that you are already here. This is the thing, right?
Yeah.
So my next question, which kind of ties into that, is I I know you also believe a lot in surrender. What does surrender mean to you? What does spiritual surrender mean to you?
So I actually a lot of time I have recommended, and I really pose that to whoever speaking about surrender. The word that I love is active surrender, because sometimes people think that surrender means just completely surrendering to
Yep.
life and universe
Hmm.
and not doing anything. So that's not surrender. Surrender is a very active process. So surrender means I have complete 100% faith in life and universe and myself as well, which means I believe the life is working for me. Universe always has my back, and I do whatever I need to do. So if there's an emergency, I handle that. If there is a thought that is bothering me, I go deep into that, challenge my thought, and come out of that. If somebody requires my presence, my love, my listening, I do that. If my business requires me to go out and talk to people, I do that. Whatever is required of me, whatever life is asking me, for example, to do, I take that action, and then I stay detached with the outcome. That's what surrender is. Then I don't panic or worry about, oh, okay, I talked to this person and whether the result is going to be the way I want to. So I invited this person for my podcast, for example. You have taken the action. Now, whether the person turns up or not, we have to get detached to that outcome. That's what is active surrender.
Uh, okay, so that makes a lot of sense. And the question that I have had in my own journey, I'm going to share a little bit about my spiritual journey is, I've been reading about these two things, just like you said. Surrender is not about just giving up everything and not doing anything and saying, okay, I'm surrendering and going to a cave and meditating for 20 years. And it's not like that. So I've been having this question, and I've been asking this myself a lot lately, is how do these two, there are these two ideas. The first one is surrender, like surrender everything and just be happy. The second one is go for your dreams, go for what you want, and work hard and hustle and grind and everything, right? How do these two tie in for you? How do you just make sure you do both of them, or like how do you do this? What's the relationship between them?
So this is again a beautiful question. I love your question, Armugan. They both tie up, but I don't hustle. Let me make that clear. I don't hustle, I don't grind.
Yes.
I live a relaxed life. I live in truth with my true nature, which is peaceful, joy, fun, just like life, as life is. At the same time, I have dreams, I have ambitions, I have a lot of aspirations, and I take actions all the time. I do whatever comes to me. If I want to write, I write. If I want to podcast, I do. If I want to coach, I do. When I want to do nothing, I do that as well. So, surrender and your dreams and actions go hand in hand, knowing that when we think that, oh, I have to do this in order to achieve my dream and then I will be happy, that's where the problem lies. So that is the biggest myth, that when I will achieve my dreams, my aspirations, my achievements, I will be happy. And that's what causes actually people to feel stressed, overwhelmed, anxiety, so much of grinding and hustle. And there's such a belief about it that if we really really work hard, we will reach there even faster. So even we work even harder, and then people tell me that, oh, I as an entrepreneur, I will hustle and grind myself for 20 years and then I will rest. So this is not at all surrender. This is not at all living with the rhythm of life. Actually, the way I have learned, and I think this work for many of people as well, and we can definitely make it work if we understand this, is effortless actions. tied in with the surrender, tied in with co creation with the universe. So when I'm taking action, I'm already happy. So I'm not taking action in order to be happy. And that's where the paradigm shift is. I am happy. That's why I'm taking this action. I am happy. That's why I'm going for my dreams. And universe is co-creating to make those dreams happen for me. And when the dreams come true, I already was happy. So in that moment, I'm overjoyed, but it's not that I got more happy because I was already happy. Does it make sense? Yes, I might be
Yes, yes, yes.
excited. Let's say if I want to write a book. So the day my book came out, I was overjoyed. But it didn't make any difference to my happiness because I'm already happy, blissful, and peaceful before the book and after the book. It's like saying exact. Some monk had said, and I love that statement that before enlightenment you do dishes, after enlightenment what you do? You do dishes. So it's exactly the same thing. Yeah. So
So
be happy first and then go for it with surrender, which means with complete faith in life.
So I truly understand that. I was listening to Sri Kumar Rao, and he said that when you are in the shower and you start singing, it's not that you start singing to be happy. It's that you were happy, and it's just a spontaneous thing that happens. And you use the term called effortless action. What does that mean? Can you define effortless action?
Sure, I love to. So effortless action for me, first of all, is action which comes from joy. So, for example, when I'm coaching, I love coaching. I absolutely love my profession. So, when I'm coaching, there is no effort at all involved. I'm present with the person, and whatever they're saying, I'm listening. And there's a lot of joy and love in my heart. And that action is effortless. I'm not tired after that. Similarly, if in every action, when I'm, let's say, people say, okay, but when you do admin work or when you do some work which is not that joyful, maybe not very interesting work, in that moment, if you're fully present with that work, with love, just maybe even if it's just the most mundane work, it can be even cleaning your, table or making your bed. If you're just fully present with yourself, with your body, with your heart, actually that moment can become effortless. It might not be something as enjoyable as doing something like a hobby or a passion, but that moment would be like freedom, like free, and you're one with that moment. And that's how every action can become effortless if you're fully present without worrying about the future. That's the main aspect here. Most of the time, people, when they're taking action, they're worried whether this action will bring the result I'm seeking. That's where it becomes hard work. Because
Yeah.
now, when I take an action, I'm already concerned. Am I going to get the outcome I want? And this training actually happened in school. Because in school, we always study to get marks, right? We know
Yes.
that. The education system. So it trained us badly for years, for almost 15 years, right? We are in school, and those years we were grinding and reading and doing all hard work to get something. No, I mean, I'm not saying I used to actually enjoy studying. So there are children, and I'm hoping more and more children do that. Just study for the sake of enjoyment, just enjoying what they're studying. But that's how actually we learned. So even when the subjects were boring or hard, we just were grinding ourselves because we wanted to get something out of that, right?
Yes.
And then, yeah, that becomes our life. We do everything like that. Then, yeah.
I love that so much. In fact, I'm just gonna take this clip and I'm gonna share this with, because I just recently joined my university, so I'm just gonna take this clip and I'm just gonna tell everyone to go follow this, because I've been telling them to chill and they don't listen to me. So I'm gonna just like tell, okay, Saloni said this. Now just chill and enjoy life. Just be at life, man. That's what you gotta do, right? that's that is
And that,
just so.
that doesn't mean they don't study. It's about really being present.
Yep,
Can
yep.
we
That's
enjoy?
what I
Yeah,
mean.
can we enjoy that moment fully?
So yeah, that's just so key. In fact, that is, I think this, if there has to be one thing that I can pinpoint that has changed my life so much, from being like really depressed and suicidal to being just this happy kid. I call myself the happy kid because I'm just always smiling all the time. So it's this thing that you just told right here. It's just, it makes, so it is just so, it's powerful. I can't explain it in words, but it's powerful. So
Mm.
the next question I have for you, Saloni, is that for the small percentage of people, but it's not actually small, it's a lot of people who use this excuse is that uh, I just don't have time to be spiritual. I just don't have time to be. I have all these things. I have children's. I have job. I'm building my business. I'm working a 9 to 5. What's the advice that you'll give to them so that they can practice being more in the flow, just being?
Right. So interesting, isn't it? Because it's not that we become spiritual or we do something to be spiritual. We are that. The truth is, we are spirit. And the spirit, and actually, there are a lot of times people say that our body has spirit, but if you go deep into spiritual
Yes,
texts,
it's the
spirit contains the
yeah, you're right.
body. So, without going into that detail, but at least I think we all can start to really contemplate and comprehend this reality that we are already spiritual beings, right? Which also means that no matter what you're doing, it's about your being. So if we try to like define what is being spiritual, it's just really being aware of who you're being every moment to moment. So if I'm, let's say, I'm doing some work, I'm a professional and I'm doing my work, or you're a student, you're studying, in that moment, who you are being, when you're in a relationship with someone, you're talking to a friend or your parent or your child, in that moment, who you are being. Are you just reacting moment to moment? Are you just being peaceful, listening, kind, and loving? Who you are being, that's what your spiritual practice is. You don't have to meditate, you don't have to. Those are good practices. I've meditated for many years and they help you to become more mindful of who you are being, but you don't have to do that. The highest form of spiritual practice is, am I being love in this moment? Am I being loving in this moment with whoever I am with, whether it's an activity, whether it's a person, whoever it is. So there is no time required in order to be spiritual. That's my answer. It's about awareness, all about awareness of your being, who I am right now in this moment. And if you have judgments about yourself, dropping those judgments. And first of all, be loving to your own self. Because the truth is, most of us are so harsh and so judgmental of our own selves. Constantly, we criticize ourselves and judge ourselves. So start from there. Be loving and kind to yourself.
I just wow. I don't even have words. I was just so lost listening to you there, that just being loving and kind to yourself. And I was also kind of like just also being present, but also like I do make those mistakes sometimes. I do still fall into that pattern, and I think that's beautiful tips. If you can just be kind and loving to yourself, that's going to be awesome. So if Saloni, I have to ask you one thing, one practical tip, if there's one thing that you can, I know there are a lot, but if you can give us just one or two things that you do, or one or two practical or tips that you can give so you can shift your energy from a low place to a positive high place.
Mm. So, a couple of things I would share, Mugan. The first one is journaling. So, because we all of us, as I said, we all are judging ourselves continuously, a lot.
Yeah.
When I started my spiritual practice, I realized that how much I was judging myself. Oh, I'm not being. If I raise my voice for my daughters, I'm not being a good mom. Oh my God, I lost my temper and I was being impatient. So constantly, without us even realizing, we are judging ourselves, and when we do that, we are judging others as well. It's as simple as that. So if you start just writing your thoughts that, wow, in that moment I was feeling this, I was feeling bad about myself, I was feeling I was not being good enough, or good enough mother or a son or a daughter or wife or husband, whatever it is, just start writing your feelings. The more you do that, it's like literally a release, because when you've written that, it's kind of giving yourself permission to let go of your judgments. And if you like, you can even end with, I'm willing to let go of my judgments for myself. And forgiveness is one of, again, one of the highest spiritual practices. Every single day that I do, forgive myself for any time I'm not being loving, anytime I felt that, oh, I'm not very proud of myself, but I did. But rather than feeling bad or guilty, when you forgive yourself, a lot of people feel that when you feel guilty, you'll do better. That's such a huge myth. Literally, we have no idea like where we got this idea that if I feel bad enough about myself, I will do better. It's the other way around. If every single day you just forgive yourself, let alone anybody else, just yourself, for criticizing you or feeling bad about anything, if you do that and you feel good about yourself, that yes, I am love, I'm loving, I'm kind, you will instantly feel better. And when you are non judgmental to yourself, the truth is you become non judgmental to other people as well. You become more kind and loving and compassionate to everyone else around you as well.
Wow, that is also so important. And so it's journaling and then just being kind and forgiveness, all of those spiritual practices which are really important. Uh,
Yes.
so this is
Forgive.
the last but not the least question I have for you, Saloni. And I've been, these help me so much because I'm on the same journey. I really want to get your perspective on how and why is spiritual growth so important, spiritual or personal growth. First, is it important for you, that spiritual personal growth? And then if it is, why is it just so important? Why do people devote all of their lives to it?
Mm. So, first of all, absolutely, it is the most important thing. So, I think mankind has always, we are here to grow and evolve. It's as simple as that. In earlier time, if we go back to history, the human being thought that the external development, making the roads and cities and societies and everything was evolution. It was. So from caves, we came to cities, and we did both actually. There was a lot of imbalance as well we created as human beings. But I think it's only recently in this particular era, and there's a saying that from 2000, this is a era of spiritual evolution, because somewhere I think mankind has realized that only growing outside industrialization, capitalism, and all these things is not helping a human being become happy and peaceful, which is our true nature. And that's why so many people all over the world, you can see like how many people are looking towards teachers, mentors, gurus. Everybody is looking towards, "Oh, what can I do? Can I meditate? Can I do mindfulness? What can I do? Feel peaceful." The reason is we all know it doesn't matter. Even I tell people, it's like, imagine you're sitting in a five-star hotel and you're so comfortable, you have AC on, but at the same time, if you're with your partner or with a friend and you both are not happy to talk to each other because of, let's say, you had a
Yes.
fight, there's a fight or something is going on in your heart, you're resenting or you have a grudge, how peaceful you're going to be? Doesn't matter where you're sitting, doesn't matter you're sitting in a Ferrari or in your jet plane. If inside you're not feeling peaceful and happy, no luxuries, no external development can give you that happiness and peace. That's why your mental, emotional, spiritual development is so crucial, especially now when the whole world is connected, when we all are talking about education, self development, so that we can reach together as humanity and evolve to become who we are, which we are peaceful beings. That's how we are born. So it's about really being true to the true nature we have. So it is
So
the most important thing, yeah, for all of us.
yeah, that's honestly, that is what I believe, because even just like you said, I the same belief you have. I think this is where we share exactly the same belief. uh, we are in an age that we live, we have so much external abundance that if you go to New York, there'll be so much external abundance, all these buildings and skyscrapers and all of this. But if you meet someone, it will be like I haven't been to New York, so I'm not judging, okay? But still, they're just so stressed and they're just always grinding and hustling, just like we talked about. But if you come to someone like India or Pakistan, that's where we are from, and if you really take the time to be with a person who's not even wearing proper clothes, I have done this. He's not even wearing proper clothes, and if you just be with them, they're just so smiling and happy. It feels like they're the most joyous person on the entire planet. It's such a moving experience if you do that. So I that's why I believe that's just exactly the same reason that you gave. Spiritual growth or personal growth is so important. So how can so Saloni, how can people find out more about you? What is it that you're working on right now, and how can we find out more about you?
So I blog at salonising.com, my website. People, if they want to read my blogs, they can and find out more about me. They can go to my website, salonising.com. I am active on social media as well. I keep going and vanishing from social media. I keep disappearing.
I
When
love that.
I love to
I love that.
disappear. Yeah, but when I'm active, when I'm in a mood to write, then sometimes for days I write every day on Instagram by the name Saloni Life Coach, and I'm on Facebook as well by the name Life Coach Saloni Singh, and LinkedIn as well. Yeah, so you can find me anywhere you like, and people can connect with me on social media.
So, is there something new or special that you're working on right now that you might would love to give us a preview of, if there is?
Sure. So I used to do spiritual retreats earlier in person, but because of, pandemic for 2 years, I couldn't do. So last year I started this program, group coaching program, which I call Self Mastery Inner Soul Circle, which is all about spiritual growth and connecting with our true nature and the spirit of the universe. So I do this group coaching program, which is a 4 months long program. So currently my second batch is running, and we meet twice in a month in a group, and I facilitate their journey to the higher spiritual growth.
Wow, that's beautiful. I would love to be a part of that in the future. That's so awesome. And how can you find out about that? Is there a way to join your program for people who are watching this?
Sure. So currently, because the group is already running, so they can apply from my website. So on my website, there's a page, Self Mastery Soul Circle, and anybody who would like to join my next circle, they can apply through that, and we will save their email. And when we launch the program, we will invite them.
Okay, awesome. Super cool. So the link to join Saloni's Self Mastery Soul Circle and all of her blog and all of her social media is down in the description. Do check her out. This I just feel so good. Even if we just I to be I'm if we were here and if we didn't talk and if we just were here, I would have loved this time with you, these 25 minutes or 30 minutes that I had with you, because it's just like you, just like I introduced you. You are a loving presence, and I just love being around you. Thank you so much, Saloni, for being on the show, and I can't wait to do more awesome stuff in the future. All of the things that you shared, they not only help me, but I believe a lot of other people who are on their own spiritual journey or spiritual growth. So thank you so much for being on the show, and I can't wait to have you again.
Thank you, Armugan. And you are doing great. I would like to acknowledge that at your age, you are doing a wonderful job. All the best.
Thank you so. Thank you so. I'm 18, by the way. I'm not 3.